In this Inventor quick tip video, we're going to look at a real-world example of using the direct edit tools on this sheet metal component. So you'll see I'm highlighting some features on screen, and these are the features that we're going to edit in this video. Now, because this component is symmetrical, we're able to go and split it in half using the split tool, and we can then mirror over the changes later. It just saves us from making the changes to both halves of the model. So let's start out. The simple stuff are things like moving the size or the location of a hole. So in this example, we can move the location of this hole, or we can click on size and we can drag the arrow either up or down to change the size of this hole. Now, the thing with all of these direct edits is that they're parametric. So although we're doing a direct edit, every change we make has a parameter behind it. So in this example, by changing the parameter, the hole changes as well. So what this means is we can go back at any stage and make any changes to the changes that we've made, and we can see what was changed in our history, which is great. All right, so our hole's changed, nice and easy. Now this entire depression over here we might need to move. So by selecting it with a window, I'm able to go back into my direct edits. I can choose a location, and once my UCS is located, I can then drag my feature and I can place it more or less where I want it to be, and I can place it in an exact 15mm dimension, and that entire depression there has moved 15mm. Next up, we have the depressed slot over there. So what we want to do with this slot is we want to put it vertical or perpendicular to the bottom face over there. So we need a little bit of information. Let's quickly measure the angle it's at, and we can see that that's 72 degrees. So we need to rotate it 18 degrees to get it to 90. So we're going to go into our direct edit tools, and we're going to choose rotate. We then need to locate this, so we're going to choose a location point, and an easy trap to fall into is to just go and drag this straight away, and you might start seeing that your previews don't match up. And this is because I haven't understood the tools in front of me. So if we have a quick look at this model from a bit of an angle, you'll see that I'm not going on the same plane as the feature. So really simple to fix. All we've got to do, go in, choose those faces again, and we now choose the plane we want to work on, which is that plane, and then we could rotate it over. But because we want to rotate it from a specific location, choose our location, make sure we're working on the correct plane again, and now it's just a case of clicking on the little handle and dragging it along. So there you can see we move it over 18 degrees and our feature is now perpendicular. So the next piece of this is just to make the slot slightly shorter. So again, we've used a window selection to grab those bottom faces. We choose move and we drag that up to the desired dimension. In it goes. Now remember that 18 degrees as well as the 5 we've just put in there are all parametric and will be changed later. Next up, we have our slot. So with the slot, if we choose that face and we have automatic blending on, the entire slot will move when we commit this change. But that's not what we want to do here. In this change, we actually want to make the slot longer. So we're going to choose the top face and we're going to locate and then drag our slot longer. And that's it, we've made our change. So we've made changes to those 3 key areas of the model. And we can now see what it looked like before we made any changes. We're just going to use our end of part marker here. And as we drag it down, you can see the hole get bigger, our depressed area move up, our slot move down to 90 degrees, goes shorter, and our slotted hole goes longer. Last thing to do then is to mirror this back over. So we want to go and choose the plane we want to use to commit our mirror, choose the entire solid and say OK. So all of our changes are now on both sides of the component. And again, like before, we can see where we started and where we've ended up simply by dragging our end of part marker. I'm sure you'll find these tools really useful, and I hope you enjoyed this video.